Okay. There we go. Happy Monday. It's Monday, July 11th. Oh, there goes Sam. Walking down the stairs. Clara's going to work. Um, it's July 11th, Monday at 5. And I'm here. Yay! And you will be eventually. So hello. Welcome. I It's a gorgeous day. I'm in Michigan. It's a gorgeous day. This is why we live in Michigan, because we have these gorgeous days that almost make you forget about the winter. Not really. I've had my windows open for like, I don't even know how many days straight, and it's just gorgeous. Although today, I've been running around and I'm a little warm. Whatever. So I'm drinking tea, but it's from this morning, so it's not hot. So it's okay. Um, so I want to show you some things. That's why we're here. I'm kind of waiting till I know that some people are here. So, oh, Abby's here. Hi, Abby. I will start by showing you. There was a Stitches event this past weekend, yesterday, which was Sunday, and Saturday and Friday. And I did not teach this time because I'm having a little issue with remembering to propose classes. So, but I took a class. I was very excited to take a class. The classes, for the 2-hour classes, it's $50. It's very affordable, and they have so many different things. This is virtual. They have so many different things. I see you, Abby. There's probably a little lag. I'll show you the things. So I've been wanting to take all the classes while they're available, when it's not conflicting with anything that I'm teaching. Maybe what's the word? Subliminally, I'm forgetting to propose so that I can take classes. Hi, Fran. But let's not say that that's true. So this weekend I took a class on, it was called Befriending Your Thimble, taught by Louisa Owen. I'm going to go with Sonstrom. Pretty sure that was it. And she had been, so she's a hand sewer, and I had taken a class from Cal Patch months ago on hand sewing, drafting a shirt, and then a boxy tee, and then hand sewing a boxy tee. And she referenced Louisa's book, which I don't know what it's called, but it's but I think I meant subliminally, but subconsciously works too. Louisa has a book, but it's hard to come by. Like, it's out of stock. I think it's like a small print in Connecticut where she lives. Anyway, I think I'm on a waiting list of some kind, because Seams here in town is trying to order them so I can get them that way. But I think I'm also on Louisa's mailing list. But anyway, I took a class from her. So Cal had recommended the book, recommended Louisa. They were both teaching at this Stitches, and I took Louisa's class. Did I say what it was yet? It was Befriending Your Thimble. Phew. I just can't tell a short story. So I have all these thimbles. I think I moved all of them. Are they still here? Oh, they're downstairs. I have all these thimbles, and I don't know how to use any of them. I try for 3 stitches, and I'm not even, it's in the way, and I stop using it. Not that I've done that much hand stitching, but so I took a hand stitching with a thimble class. So this is a scrap of fabric that I don't like, because it looks like it's busy, and it's kind of, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like it, and it's thin. So I've been using this as practice. So these are hand stitches, very lovely hand stitches that I've been making while holding a thimble. And the goal is to have the thimble feel comfortable, which Louisa assures us will take a couple of weeks. So it's been a little over 24 hours and it doesn't feel comfortable yet. And then after, well, kind of in addition to that, but a separate skill is to get my stitches to be pretty regular, like right here, whoops, right here. They don't look too bad, but they're supposed to look also regular on the back, which we can't see because it's not so bad. So I had a good period right in there. I don't know what was going on. These are the most recent ones. Fran, I didn't even try to figure out the mirror image because I think it looks the same as it always has. Looking at the YouTube channel, everything's lined up the same way. But anyway, up and down. There we go. So these are the most recent stitches right here. And while they look kind of similar on this side, yeah, they're not bad. So the goal, the project that I didn't start yet because I would like to be able to use a thimble and make nice little stitches, is like a cloth napkin that's 2 pieces of fabric put together, and then you just do lines of stitching. Not quite like this, not this close together, but I'm not ready. And I just had the thimble. She has a thimble, a tailor's thimble that does not have a top on it. So A, your finger can breathe, and B, her method is to push with the front of the thimble or the back or the side, whatever you want to call it, which is not feeling second nature to me yet. I mean, it looks like I can do it like this, but not when I'm also holding fabric and taking stitches. So, plus I don't think this one's big enough, and I have another one that's bigger that falls off. They both fall off eventually, except I'm a little sweaty today, but, so I want to try an open top one. So they're called tailor thimbles, and they're not like everywhere like these, like, like this kind is. She does have a video of how to make your own thimble out of cardboard from a cereal box or a pasta box and some masking tape. So I could do that and try out the topless thimble. Also, let's see what else. I'm not sure I have masking tape, and there's the texture of the masking tape is supposed to be pretty darn good. I know I have painter's tape, the blue stuff, and that's smooth, so that's not as good. But coincidentally, my sister is in California, and she's been sending me pictures from a store, I don't know what it is, that has like it's a corner that has trims and buttons and rickrack, and she sent me some pictures, and there's some thimbles, but there's a thing on top of the thimbles. So I'm trying to get her to Zoom shop with me tomorrow. I can see if there's any tailor thimbles in there, which probably won't fit my hand. But anyway, this is the project from my thimble class, which actually it's, it looks, that's a lot of practice. It's not 2 weeks worth of practice though. And the goal here was not to make straight lines. I didn't draw anything. So obviously that's not happening. And something's wrong with this was the first needle minder I ever got. I really like it because it says, don't mind the mess. Look at that! Because it says, I never finished any. So that was the first one I ever bought. It's small, and it seems to have lost its sticky. Oh, I can hear the cat. So the needle goes to weird places. Like, it likes to be on the edge or underneath. It doesn't really like to be in the middle. It's kind of loose in the middle, but it likes to be on the edge, and then it really likes the back. Like I could pick up the fabric. So I don't know. It says I never finish any. It's supposed to be funny. So that was my first one ever, and it's weird because it looks blue here, and I've always thought it was black, but I guess it's blue. Doesn't help that I work in darkness. Okay, here I am. I washed my hair. There's always a hair issue. I think I'm gonna grow it out again. I miss my curls. All right, so we're gonna pile that all back in bowl from another class. So I didn't teach for whatever month we're doing right now, July, but I did get in my proposals for August, so good girl. The preview is tonight, so technically I can't tell you what I'll be teaching. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be teaching. So there you go. That's going to be announced tonight, and then if you've taken any of the virtual classes, I think that you'll get an email tomorrow saying that you can go look at what classes are going to be offered, and that you can sign up a little early if you want to. So that's happening tonight. I'm not going because I have other things to do. And then I did propose for September, so maybe I'll be teaching in September. You have to actually ask to teach to be hired. It's a thing. You may have seen Starsky. I didn't really... Oh, okay. It should be all right. I made great strides with Starsky, except I have to untangle it so the yarn doesn't all break off. Please hold. Did you watch... No, I didn't yet watch Deborah's new book talk. I've been, I don't know, doing all the things. Oh, there we go. There's one. There's two. Okay. I already know I want to buy Deborah's new book. So what I did last, I don't know where I was last time when I showed you. I think I was still working on the back. Is that correct? I think that's correct. Last week. So I had a little spurt of, this is what I was doing instead of watching Deborah's book talk maybe. But I did the, there's yarn everywhere. I did the extensions. Here we go. The extensions. This is an extension for the neck. Let's see. So here's the, this is the front. Oh boy. It's going to look lovely. Everything looks really weird. Okay, this is the front. I don't know what's going on over... this is the front over here. And this is the collar that... This is the collar. This is the collar, the part that folds back to be the collar. The sleeve will be over here. And then there's an extension, which I did, and it wraps around the back to the middle back. So here's the back. And here's the... Here's the middle back. So the two collar extensions come up from the two fronts and end here. So they're not put together yet. I think that's going to be either grafting or 3-needle bind off, probably grafting. But it comes together perfectly. Oops, whoops, whoops. Oh, there we go. So yay. But I pinned it like that so that I could try it on. And then I started a sleeve. So let me show you. I have to figure out which way is right side out. There we go. And then also not knock all the yarn off. So I'm working on this. No, am I? I guess I'm working on this sleeve. Would have told you it was the other sleeve. That book looks amazing. I think there are 31 chapters and I want her to do 31 classes to go with the chapters. Oh, that does sound amazing. Abby, this is my latest custom fit sweater class. There are never patterns because you have to make the sweater in the class and it's virtual. So you snooze, you lose. But so it's coming out of my head and it seems to be working. Let me stand up. There. So, and I'll stand up as soon as I get combobulated. Need the dog bark. So here's, let's see. Where's my sleeve? Oh, right here's my little sleeve started. Here's my collar, so that's what the collar will look like. I'll weave in ends. But let me pull the chair, now that she's barking and got up, I'll show you the sweater. So, whoop, need some slack here. So here's the front of the sweater. Gotta make sure it lines up. And it'll fold back like this. There is no closure. There's no closure. I really want to put pockets in because it just really feels like it needs pockets. this side is the drop shoulder part. You can see my beautiful, like you can't see where the shoulder got attached. Or can you? And this side I've started my sleeve. And then I put it down because I feel like I shouldn't go too much farther. But that's what it looks like. The collar looks okay, doesn't it? Oh, my voice is cracking. I think the collar looks good because this is a non-shawl shawl collar. No short rows, no shaping, nothing. And I think it's working perfectly. Yeah, Fran's in the class and she says it looks exciting. I think so too. I'm going to take it off. I don't know, I don't want to take it off. So I'll just feel my front here. I really like it. It is very warm, I'll tell you that. And I think it's folded down this much all the way around, so I don't think it needed any shaping. It looks good. It's got this weird little edge because that's just the edge of the fabric. And I'm super excited. Might put pockets on, patch pockets, might not. Don't need to decide today. But I've got the class notes written. Look at me go. For the neck extensions, we'll do those at the next session. And then I started the sleeves and the first sleeve and did all the calculations and wrote those notes too. So holy crap, I'm ahead of the game. That's so weird. Whew. So that's exciting. And I forgot about that because that was like so last weekend. Or not last weekend. Middle of last week. Like I did it on Monday and Tuesday. Maybe a little bit after that. So phew, progress on that. More tea. And I wove in all the ends for the cowl. Let's see what it's called. From Tony Lipsy's Tunisian crochet book. I know, Fran, I might finish a sweater. It's scary. I think I'm going to finish sewing in the ends on the mohair one though too. Whoops. It is a cute little woven bookmark. I have no idea who gave it to me. Might have been like my mom. She didn't leave it though, I can tell you that. It's called the Juvie Chevron Cowl. So I still need to pick up, so here's how it works. You do the thing, the Tunisian crochet, which I did in these four colors, 1, 2, 3. Madeline Tosh Farm Twist. Madeline Tosh Farm Twist. There's some in the sale at Woven Art right now, and online on sale. And then you weave in all the ends. So I wove in all the ends except this one and blocked it. So I soaked it and then I swooshed it and I marked it with a B and I laid it out yesterday and made it all beautiful. So the next step is to sew this end to this end, which you'd think is fine. It's crocheted, so I assume sewing is kind of similar, but she does have directions in the book for how to sew that together. Here, I'll put it up on the big screen. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? I like the Tunisian crochet. I was really surprised. I like the doing of it, although it really feels more like knitting than crochet to me. Feels like you knit a row and then you bind off the row. And I like how everything lines up. I mean, maybe it's just this particular stitch pattern, but I like how there's all these lines lined up on the diagonals and on the vertical. It's really pleasing to my lined upness that I like to have. So, don't remember what all the colors were called. That is Carolina Reaper. I don't remember what this brown one is, but it's pretty. I don't know. You just heard me say that brown is pretty. And then this is a lighter color. But they all share colors. And then this is an interesting weirdo neutral that's got some of the browns and oranges in it. It's a pale green, not the yellow green that I typically like. And I'm telling you that on my screen, that looks exactly like it does in person. It complements these really well. Orange and green and purple actually are a triad or whatever on the color wheel. See, there's a color wheel right there, so I know what I'm talking about right there. I said triad, I don't know if that's the right word, but secondary colors, it's the three secondary colors, green and orange and purple. So the next thing is to sew these guys together, which is why we have this long tail. And they fit nicely together, theoretically. So that should be pretty easy. And then, oh look, it's gonna like flow. So exciting. Yeah, that one's pretty. We got that in. Woven Art just got a whole bunch of yarn a couple weeks ago now in of Madeline Tosh sock. Tons of it. And somebody bought all of the Carolina Reaper. That's the first one to sell out. It was so pretty. Do I have the... I do. I can see what the other colors are. But the next thing I do after I sew that seam is I learn how to do sideways crochet ribbing. So we're going to pick up... we're going to do, I think, like a slip stitch or a single crochet or something all the way around one of the sides. And then I understand the principle of this, but I've never done it before. And then we do it on the other side, and it's going to be this color, and that's all I have left. So hopefully that's enough. I don't know. And then that'll be, and then more weaving in events and more blocking. Well, I don't really have to block it, I don't think, at that point. Here we go. Carolina Reaper. See, I wasn't lying. Not that I ever lie. Life on Mars. I'm pretty sure that's the dark one. This one here. I don't know which one you meant by the dark red, Abby, because to me this is brown and to me this is orange. But I think you meant that one. And then another color is Jupiter's Moon Io. That's this one. Let's see what the last one is. Oh, I have all my things. Afterglow. Yeah, so Afterglow must be this one. Unless that's Life on Mars and this is Afterglow. That I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out how to share my screen. Oh, look, I match. That was not intentional. It's hilarious, though. So that's progressed very nicely. You know how you like need to block something, you need to block something, you need to block something, you don't want to block, you don't want to block, and then all of a sudden you block, and then you move on to the next thing. So that's what's happening next with that is sewing those ends together. Hot pepper color. Yeah. This is for me, by the way. It's a cowl. It's Tunisian crochet. It's new colors for me, browns and oranges. Barring this, I don't have browns and oranges in my wardrobe, or very much of them. All right, so that's something else is in there too. That's that. I think the remains as in the leftover yarn for the mohair sweater, which is really called the Rocket Tee, which isn't the Rocket Tee anymore because it's long sleeved. Which I think I'm going to continue to weave in the ends on. How's that for grammar? I'm also going to continue to, I think first though, I'll weave in the ends on the Surf and Turf shawl. Those are both downstairs. That's also mohair, so that'll be fun to do on Thursday at the Stitch Out. Yeah, I've been branching out from purple. Lately I've been going, lately I've been going for a really pretty blue, which would be this blue. Lately, as in the last couple years. And before that, like a yellow green, like look at my cabinet. And before that was purple. So purple and then the yellow green and then the blue. And I have like 3 orangey brown things on the needles. Or 4 right now. So that's really weird. But if you recall last week, I put up a picture of, I showed you this anniversary issue of Pom Pom magazine. The one it's got 2 sides. Here, I'll do this. It's got this side for the fall, winter, and this side for the spring, summer. I have no idea. But my thing I'm making, yes, The just interrupt myself. The filing cabinet was painted by a local artist named Adrienne Gallardi. She usually does people's front doors or garage doors or garden fences, patio fences. My front door isn't paintable because it's mostly windows, and I don't have a fence, and I'm surrounded by fence, but none of it's mine, and my garage door is old, and I had this beat up looking old filing cabinet that I got for free from the MSU surplus store, Michigan State University surplus store, and I contacted her and said, how do you feel about painting a filing cabinet? She's like, I don't know. So I hired her to paint my filing cabinet. It makes me very happy. Thank you for noticing. I'm just keeping things in my life that make me really happy. So this is mohair too. That's hilarious. That's 3 mohair projects. The Rocket Tee, the Surf and Turf shawl, and then the Keswick, which I started to say, I showed you last week. I had started this out of either 16 or 18 balls of yarn from my stash. 16 or 18, let's say 17. Stash. And 0 purchased. Well, 0 purchased in the last year or 2. Is that true? Yes. The mohair was a gift. One of the blues was I purchased over a year ago for sure, probably pre-COVID. So there you go. And the other yarns are Koigu skeins that I bought a long time ago at a Stitches to Do for something. Sideways something by Leslie Solomon that I never made. It's still, I can still picture it. It's pretty. Never made it. So I had started this. Oops. Click. There's a little schematic here, and I had done the border that's pink here, and then the first dark row. I can't do a straight line in mirror image. This first dark row, and so that's where all the colors got into play. It's Intarsia, but you don't have to twist. It's really, which took me by surprise. So I had started that. I had the whole, it's 100, is it 185? Because that doesn't sound like very many. Let's see. And why would I remember that? It's not 185, it's 168, which is even fewer stitches. But it's done on a large, it's fingering, nope, it's lace weight, which is the mohair. So it's like a Kid Silk's. It is Kid Silk's, actually. The one in the magazine is not. Clara has opinions. And it's either held with 1 or 2, either it's on its own or it's held with 1 or 2 strands of fingering weight yarn of various colors. So you get this plaid thing going on. This is not plaid. That would be like a cable. But I zoomed in and cast on, didn't do a swatch, and did the border in the mohair, and then that first row where you get all the colors in, and some squares are 1 color and some are 2 and some are 3. And I was just finishing that stripe and I checked my gauge. And it was 5 stitches to the inch-ish, and it was supposed to be 3 1/4. So it's supposed to be loose with all that skinny yarn, and I think I used the needle they called for, which for me would be loose, and it was not going to be as flowy and drapey as it asked. So I did take it all out. Last week I was showing it to you, the progress, so you could watch last week's if you didn't already see it. And I was overwhelmed by the thought of taking it out, because while the knitting actually got into a nice rhythm, the thought of tearing it out made me crazy. But I actually just sat on the couch and got into a nice rhythm. Tried to cheat my way through it. Tried to cut corners, and it became hellish. So you have to just do the thing. And so here we'll see. And when I measured it, the gauge, and then I blocked it. So I blocked it by soaking it with, actually they had their own bowls. Juvie cowl and the swatch for Keswick, they had their own bowls because I didn't know if any colors were going to run in either direction, and I didn't want the light green in the cowl to get blue. But none of the water was discolored when I dumped it all out. So anyway, I blocked them at the same time, laid them out yesterday. They're dry. And I measured this before I blocked it, and it was 3.5 or 3. It was not quite 3 1/4, and I don't care at this point because I'm using a frickin' size 10 needle on this. You know how often I use a size 10 needle? Never. Ever. So this is, I have a couple different ways I can try. This is an interesting tape measure because it covers up the 0. So we're not going to go 100% scientific here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Divided by 4 is 7.5. That's 3 3/4. I'm calling it good enough. That was one check right there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Am I in the picture? Count with me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think. Again, I'm sort of, just winging it here. What I'm doing, and yeah, I didn't do a gauge swatch and it came back and bit me. Who knew? Who knew? Here, this is a backwards measuring device. I have no idea why. It was my dad's. He was a geologist. I don't know if maybe, I have no idea, but it's backwards. So I'm learning to use it. I want it to lie flat. There we go. It's still a little leany. There. Okay. And the 0 goes to the end of the brass. So let's line that up under a stitch. I'm looking at this row of garter stitches. And then we can count. I'm going to start at the 4. I'm not going to look up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-ish. 15. 15. Trying to be a little more scientific here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Pretty dead on 15, I would say. That's not a horrible measuring job. So let's just move all the things. Oh, this was keeping my place. Well, we'll just have to find it again. No, that was keeping my place for the other one. Oh my gosh, Sarah. So with this giant needle, which is downstairs, size 10 US. Size 10 US. That is enormo. And I am going to use the size 10 US. What did they call for? They called for, and I'm a loose knitter, so I usually go down 2 needle sizes, or 3/4 of a millimeter, actually, if you want to get technical. They call for a 9. What? They call for a 9. I didn't use a 9. I don't think I used a 9. I don't know what I'm using. Holy crap, they called for a 9. Anyway, I'm using at least a 10, if not a 10.5, but nothing bigger than that. So this is nice. This is floofy, and this is 3 strands. The mohair plus, so this is Kid Silk's in blue something. Bluebird, blueberry, blue jay. I think it's blue jay maybe. I don't know what it's called. Blue something. And this one's one of the Koigu's. It's a purple. And this is Why Not Fibers Soul, which is their sock yarn, and it's a blue. I can't remember what it's called. So those are 3 of the 16 or 18 yarns that I'm going to use. And of course I won't use all of them, but I'll use a lot of it. So I'll have to get that up and running again, but I learned my lesson. Well, I didn't learn my lesson. I'll do it again. I'll go whole hog or whatever it's called with diving in without swatching again. Never fear. Never fear. But it did come back to bite me, and it was a pain in the ass to tear out, let me tell you. In case you were wondering. So let me just think about what I want to tell you next. Oh, I did also make some progress on my black work, and it's coming along. I got all of the nibs done. Boop. It's very sloppy. We're gonna make it look pretty right now, but I got all the nibs done. And Marilyn, when you're watching, it's hilarious because... Oh, wait. I'll tell you the hilarious story in a little bit. Got all the nibs done. None of my fountain pens actually have gold or brass nibs, but I just felt like I wanted to have some. So a third of them are that, because, you know, there has to be some rhyme or reason. And then I got 2 of the actual pens done. They're supposed to be pencils, but I went rogue. It's supposed to be pencils done on like a white or light Ada cloth, and I went rogue and did on black, which I'm not really caring about quality. I'm having fun, but and this is another needle minder that I have. This was the second one I think that I got. It was this was actually free. Can you read that one, Abby? This one was actually free. I bought a bunch for people for Christmas that were similar to that. And I didn't get one for myself. Well, I did get one for myself, but I gave it to somebody else. And then I was sad, but they had included this one for free, so yay. I didn't pick that one out. But I just wanted to neaten this up, and then I will be needing to... Oh, it's behind my head. These scissors are going from not sharp, or from very too sharp to... not wanting to cut. What's going on with that? There we go. Maybe they're just gummy. Trying really hard not to cut the Ada cloth. So since I last so some of this is cross stitch, obviously, and then this is black work. So I took a class on black work, which appears to be a kind of a filler stitch. And I'm really enjoying it. This one was, so I finished this one, this orange one. Those are called Smyrna crosses. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. And then I don't know what this is called, but this was really fun. There's like a pattern emerged. Like you see it as, I saw it as verticals and horizontals, and then I saw the little X's in the middle as like little beads. And then they can become flowers. So that was kind of cool. It sort of morphs on you. But I haven't been weaving in these ends either. This will be a good thing to do. This is what I've been working on at the Stitch Outs on Thursday nights, hosted by Woven Art and Seams, because it's not mohair. So since it's been in the 80s when we have our Stitch Outs, I don't really want to be working on mohair. But in these modern newfangled days, when you start a thread, you can knot it and put it through on the right side to the wrong side. I'm going to sneeze. That felt really good. And then, so like these knots go down here, and the ones that were higher up, you know, oh, like this one right here goes somewhere down here. So there's like 2 or 3 inches that I can weave in later, and it holds them out of the way, which is nice. So back in the day when I was cross-stitching before, you know, you would, I don't know what you would do. Either have knots on the back, but I don't think I had knots on the back. Well, we'll find out. Or you could run them run the new yarn under some stitches on the back, and then start. Oh boy, did I say all those sentences? So I was just gonna pull, and then I left my tails, my ending tails, to the back or to the front so that I wouldn't keep, like, see, this got kind of sloppy. Just pulling on all my tails, try to get them back from the front, and then I'll weave them in on Thursday, I think. Weaving in is not my favorite thing to do. I had friends over on Saturday, amazingly, and that's when I wove in the ends for the cowl. Oh, that's a long carry. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Whoop. So I'm just pulling all the ending tails back from the front, I hope. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see how we're doing. Yep. And I'll weave these in later. A couple more. I've been getting a few little, that's weird looking, a few little, tangles. Like I was working on this pink one, and see there, can you see so this is what's been, this is why I'm trying to hold them out of the way by doing the thing where you knot it up here and then take it underneath to where you're actually starting, and it holds the tail out of the way. Because if it gets in the way, you might actually sew through the strand, which is what happened. See, here's two of my strands, and this is the third one. Can you see I've split through that one? So no biggie, because I'm going to sew them in. It's just pull. Nope, I don't want to break it. Sorry. So I'll just, you know, weave those in together, even though they're separated. Actually, these can go under here. Let's see. Ha! I pulled it. Okay, so there you go. So there's my nice clean front now, except for some dust bunnies. And so this is a class I took with Linda Peets at Stitches. Oh, it was November of last year or October of last year, so not quite a year ago. So I was up in Traverse City, my first trip away from home after COVID, or during COVID, actually. What am I stuck to? Oh, I stuck to this. Really? Yeah. Isn't that brass? Does brass stick to magnets? Am I oh, there's a... Ouch. No, it does not, but there's a little pin in there. That's what's... Oh my gosh. So much fun. Okay. Words. I was saying words. So this was a class I took with a woman named Linda Peets, and I also took a pin loom weaving class from her. I am so excited that Stitches is teaching all the things. And I'm taking them, and I do not feel overwhelmed. I just feel like there's not enough time. So these two are done. This one's these little, I don't know, dinosaur heads. Do you see dinosaur heads there? This one's kind of fun. It's very linear. I might finish that one next. So I had started all of them in the class. It was 2 or 3 sessions. I don't remember. This is like little flowers or little people. This one is also very linear, like the green one. This one was very time consuming, and I couldn't get a rhythm down. So, for example, this is when I was doing it in class, and she was saying where to put the needle up and down, and then this is later, and I like don't have, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm sure there are people who do things certain ways, like see how nice and neat this is, and when I pick it up and start on my own, it's going to be like not as nice and neat. Like, so that's okay. It's okay. This one's fun because now that I'm looking at it, it looks like sideways planets, like sideways Saturns, but if you isolate, it looks like little people. To me, it looks like, you know, jumping jacks. Do you see jumping jacks there? So lots of little jumping jacks people. This one I think was also a pain in the ass. Anywhere there's a lot of strands that come together. Excuse me. And then the blue one, whatever it was, I screwed it up. Let's see what it was. Oh, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. I screwed it up. So I tore it out. I'd only done a little bit, but I tore it out and decided to revisit it later. And then the the pencils, because this was supposed to be pencils with erasers like that. Whoops, like that. The pencils then had little twirlies of, they were colored pencils, and I'm doing pens. So I'll still do little twirlies. Let's see. Is it that one? It might be that one. I think it's this one. I screwed that one up. And here's me trying to do notes on how to do it, and it just looked horrible. I think I just needed to keep going is what I decided, but I'd already torn it out. So that is my progress. I'm excited. This is what I do, like, this is what I do. This is what I've been doing, like, at night before I go to bed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm doing all the things, because I got progress on all the things, but this is what I'm happy to be doing in the evening, you know, at the end of the day. Let me just throw everything. And I have one more thing to show you. So Abby says, you're making me want to embroider. I used to do cross stitch. Well, I did one crewel project, which is hanging downstairs. It was in my mom's kitchen, actually, and then when she passed away, it came back to me, and so it's hanging in my dining room, and someday maybe I'll give you a tour of all the things. But crewel, and I didn't enjoy crewel. I don't like satin stitch is the devil, if you ask me, and I knew that in middle school or whenever I made that. It says happiness is still homemade or something, I don't know, and it has. So there was like, it was embroidery. There was outline stitch and back stitch and and French knots, which I'm fine with, but the satin stitch just killed me. I don't like it. So now I'm wanting to embroider, and one of the things is satin stitch. So I've taken some visible mending classes. I haven't taken embroidery classes, but I'm doing the hand stitching classes. So getting all excited, wanting to get all the things, and I only have one that I can find. I think I gave a bunch away, actually, like in a garage sale, or not a garage sale, but a St. Vincent's bag. I think I gave away most of my in progress, embroidery projects, or maybe I just haven't found them. But my oldest UFO embroidery wise is my youngest son's birth sampler, which is not done. But it's farther. I thought it was, it's Noah's Ark, which I am not a religious person at all, but my oldest son's birth sampler was also Noah's Ark, I think, as animals. And, I just like the animals. And so the second son's, I wanted to do a different Noah's Ark. And so I was, at the time, I did so much cross stitch, I was getting a cross stitch magazine and making all the things. I made so many things. So I unearthed this from the basement. This is now he was born in 91, so this is, December 92, so I was late doing that doesn't make sense. No, he was born in 96. This one was born in 96. Holy cow. But this is the chart. Holy shit. Because I used to do stuff like this, and now I'm doing stuff like the black work, and I pulled this out to maybe finish it because I have to finish it. It has a little rust on it because, as you can see, the hoop was in it at some point. It wasn't there when I pulled it out. Oh, it's over here. When I pulled it out recently, it wasn't in, but the hoop had been in, and there's a little bit of rust right there or something that I will just fix at some point. It smells mildewy. My basement, but it's kind of like the nice mildewy, not like the old people's house, but like, I don't know, there's what else to tell you. So it's kind of a pleasant mildewy. There's no damage on it except for that little piece of rust. So I'm going to go for it. But I'm looking at it going, did you have that one? I subscribed to this, right? Didn't we subscribe to these? Maybe not. It doesn't have, I think I subscribed to it. I don't think I went and bought them. You can look with me. Whoop. I think it was a I'm sure it was a, I can't say the words. A subscription. Maybe it came in a plastic cover because I don't see an address label on it. But yeah, there's a file box downstairs that I haven't looked in. But like there is detail. Look at all that. Look at all the back stitch, and there's like quarter stitches in there. Oh my gosh. So I'm going for it. I'm going to finish it. My kids don't give a rip, and I'm going to finish it and hang them both in my house. I think my other son's is in the bedroom that's behind me. Not this room, but the room behind me. My oldest son's was framed and done except for his name and the date when he was born. He's 31. So it's been done for 31 just 31 years. This one, I was the last child also. So now I feel like there's things I didn't get, which isn't really true. I mean, there's things that happen when you're the last child, or that don't happen when you're the last child, that happened for earlier children. Let me just put it that way. I got hand-me-downs. My oldest sister didn't get any hand-me-downs. I don't think. Not from me anyway. But it's, smells a little mildewy, looks fine. I'm going to go for it. I can work on this outside. This is my other, whoops. Hi. This is my other needle minder. I like this one too. And that works fine. It's bigger. This one has, the back magnet only goes on one way. It'll flip if you try to put it on the other way. So that's like the strongest one I have. But something I learned about that didn't exist, like needle minders and knotting the front of the fabric, are having grid lines. And so last night, when I decided, okay, yes, I pulled this out and decided, yes, I'm going to keep going. But I looked at this and I looked at this and I'm like, holy shit. So I met a woman a few weeks ago at the Stitch Out. I haven't seen her since then, but she was doing cross stitch and she had grid lines. And if you follow Franklin Habit, he's doing some needlework, some cross stitch, and yeah, Fran had the same magazines and the same cross stitch passion. I'm really feeling the hand sewing. She had grids so that you can keep track of where you are. And the woman whose name I think started with a J, and I think, like, I kept wanting to call her Jocelyn, but her name was Jillian or vice versa, or it was neither of those. She had a red metallic, or some kind of metallic. Anyway, she showed me what it was, and I ended up getting some in this pretty blue, because blue, hello. And hilariously, it's way thinner. This is not a splitty kind like the thread that I have from way back that I know they still sell. This is very smooth and very thin and very slippery. And I'm trying to put it in. So I got the bottom rows done, and then some short ones over here. I mean, I'm putting it in after the fact, right? This is the side edge. And I'm here, and I've got more, and I'm just gonna do some on this side till I get that part done. There's a whole bunch up here I haven't done, and obviously everything up here I haven't done. This only goes to like here and here. There's the alphabet all the way around. So see, I have the boat done, the arc. It's called an arc. I have the arc done, so I want to do the borders on the alphabet next and ease my way back into the craziness. This is way farther done than I thought it was. The last time I thought to look at it, I thought I barely had anything done, and I thought I'd done part of the border and that was it. So when I pulled it out and it was the whole arc, I was like, what the hell? I didn't know I did that much. But 1996 is when I was making it. 95, 96, so... yeah, so I'm trying to put those in, and it's of course linen and not Ada cloth, so it's freaking hard to see the... And did I mention I do the sewing at night? But I besides the fact that it's a little smelly, but it looks fine. I mean, there's no discoloration. I will soak it. I'll spray it. I don't care, but I'm going to get these fuckers on the wall. My kids will be 50 by the time it happens, but it's going to happen. But I need to get like their little faces on, and there he has a big staff, and these are snakes, I think. Yeah. So, jumping down that rabbit hole with all my feet. Yeah, so I don't know how to knot this stuff. It's really thin. It's really thin. It's not stiff at all, but it's like has a little body to it. Super thin. Woo. Whoop. Whoop. And I just brought it over here, you know, like this is where it started. Is that true? No, but basically this is where I ended because I came to anyway. So I just did the thing I was doing on the blackwork, and I brought it under and took it out and just left a long tail, and it stayed there since last night. So I might call it good. I think it's not gonna come out. And then I don't know. So it took me quite a while to get the hang of this, but once I got one row in, it was easier to do the following rows because I could eyeball, you know. And then of course the idea is to put a grid going up and down also. And again, that'll be super easy though, because the verticals line up with the diagonals to make crosses, and then those represent the corners of the boxes. So there you go. Yeah, Fran says hard to see is why she doesn't do cross stitch anymore. Did you see the black work on the black 8 o'clock? Oh my gosh. But I'm loving it. I'm just happy. I have editing on the pile. Jen, if you're watching, you're on top of the pile. And I have other people on top of the pile also, but you're on the very top of the pile. And I'll be doing some teaching as time goes on, and hopefully more classes that I have proposed. It'd be fun to do new ones. I don't know if they'll pick them. The thing about new classes is that you have to actually do, make them up, have photographs. And to have photographs, you have to have made the thing. To make the thing, you have to know what you want to teach in the class. Then you need notes, and you need the words that make people want to sign up for the class, and then you need to say, and the students will need these things, and they'll have to know these things. And so I didn't really do much of that when I proposed the classes, because what if nobody picked any of those new classes? So either they won't pick the new classes because I didn't give them very much information, or they'll pick them and then I'll give them the rest of the information. So I think I'm caught up with my chat. I was going to do a half hour. We filled an hour again. You can always watch some later if you couldn't hang in. I can't talk for less than an hour. Oh my gosh. This all fell apart. So I'm going to go do something with needle and thread. Or needle and yarn, because it's fun. And I've been fighting hard to have time, to make the time to be able to do this stuff, in addition to working at the shop and editing and teaching and eating, but I'm not cooking, and gardening, except I'm not gardening. So but I'm fighting hard to get the quality of life going, and I'm happy. So there you go. I encourage you to do the same. Fight for your quality of life. I didn't mean to get all, but there we go. I'm going to end now, and if you remember how to end, stop streaming, and I will see you next week. I either will have made progress on something, or all the things, or nothing at all, or I will have started 3 new things. That's most likely. No guilt, no apologies. You're right. No guilt. No guilt. And that's it. That's what I had to figure out, was I needed to get to a place where I could do these things that I'm doing that I love and not feel guilty about it. and still earn my money. And I think I got there. Finally. I don't know what the thing where I took the week off, that kind of clicked. That kind of clicked. Like, this is it. I don't know. Anyway, I highly recommend doing things that bring you joy. And I'll cheer you on. Okay, stop streaming. See you next week.